Hello. Rashmi
Good
madam,
morning, sir.
sharing by Indian option.
Good morning, sir.
Good
सर
morning.
दे दीजिए अपन को होस्ट कर दीजिए
आगे आगे.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. ये तो देखो जी ये तो sharing टा कुछ रोहिला जी देखो जी. तो hello. It is showing.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you have completed yesterday about the interview. Okay. So regarding the interview, we have discussed about the structured interview, then unstructured interview. Under structured interview, you find the open response format and closed response format. Clear? And what are the difference between the structured and unstructured? We have also discussed. The next fact-finding technique is our questionnaire. So, as the name suggests, you find it is a question. It is a set of questions. Good. And that question is a predefined question. Yes. So they are useful when the system analyst is required to collect information from a large number of people, because it is not possible for the system analyst to make one by one interview of the employees or the stakeholders. So when there is a large number of employees are there, and the system analyst want to collect large volume of information from them regarding the new system, regarding the change of the system or development of the system, it will he uses the another technique that is called questionnaire. So it is nothing but a set of questions which will be provided to the stakeholders to give answers. So it is useful in a situation when interview on an individual manner cannot be conducted, or it is not possible to conduct interview one by one in a large scale organization. Clear? Voice clear hoji? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there are two types of questionnaires are used, like interview, that is the open response based and closed response based. As the name suggests, you find what is open response. You say what is open response based. From the name, that is open response means the it is just like a subjective question. So open response based means it requires no response direction or specific response. Means no specific response is required, like yes or no, etc., etc. So or multiple choice question. So it is an open response. This form is also used to learn about the feelings, opinions, and experience of the respondent. That means it consists of it is in subjective manner. Clear? It is just like in subjective manner. So this information helps in making the system effective, because the analyst can offer subsequent modifications as per the knowledge gain, because everyone is free. Those are the participants of in questionnaire are free to provide their knowledge by provide their knowledge of the system to the system analyst in a written format. So that is called the open response based. Means it is open to give their feelings, give their knowledge, give their answers in their words. So it helps in making the system effective, because it is a knowledge collection system. The stakeholders will provide knowledge, will give their suggestions. Knowledge means give their suggestions for the betterment of the system. So that is it, the open response based questionnaire. Second is our closed response based. Means as the name suggests, it is closure one. It is not closure, it is closed. There is a boundary. So the objective is to collect the factual information of the system. What are in the system? That is the fact. In this case, the respondent have to choose from a set of given responses, like true, false, yes or no, etc., etc. So that is MCQ. So the question can be filled in the blanks, true or false, ranking, MCQ, etc. So thus the respondent can express their liking for the most favorable one, most appropriate. most appropriate one from the possible alternatives. So that is close response based. Then what is the difference between open response and closed response? As we have discussed, so it offers more flexibility and freedom to the respondent in case of open response. In case of closed response, it is closed form is more specific in nature because most appropriate choice can be chosen by the respondent. In case of open response, it is useful when it is required to explore certain situations. But in case of closed response, it is used when factual information is required. Not anything else, not beyond the boundary. In open response, you find some suggestions beyond the boundary. But in case of closed response, it is confined within the boundary. So in open response, it requires a lot of time for evaluation. But in case of closed response, questions are quick to analyze, but typically most costly to prepare because most appropriate answer must be within the answer set. So in case of open response, it allows the people to express an opinion without being influenced by the researcher. But in case of closed response, it limits the people to the set of alternatives being offered. So in its main objective means the open response main objective is to get the information data about the essential and critical design features of the system. But in case of closed response, the main objective is to collect the factual information of the system. Clear? So this is about open response and closed response questionnaire. As the name suggests, you find open response is nothing but a subjective one, where you get suggestions from get the feelings of the employees or the stakeholders of which we provide them questions, or the system analyst provide them questionnaire, and they will answer on the question according to them. But in case of closed response, you find a specific set of answers are there. Within there, a most appropriate answer is there. So that's why the respondent will choose the most appropriate, and it is easier to evaluate the closed response questionnaire. But in case of open response questionnaire, it is very difficult to evaluate because some answers are beyond the boundary, beyond the environment. But in case of closed response, it is within the environment, within the boundary. Here, so that is about our response questionnaire. So first fact finding technique is interview. Then second fact finding technique is questionnaire. Then third is our record review. So as the name suggests, you find it is the review of the record. It means some review of the records, means the records are there in the organizations and they are reviewed. What are the lacunas for that the system becomes obsolete, or what are the problems faced by the stakeholders, so that they they want to install new or develop new system. So records and reports are the collection of information and data accumulated over the time by the user about the system and its operation. So this also gives us a knowledge on the requirements of the system and the modification. So it may be limited if not updated. So the records are stored in the organizations where the new system will be installed. So that records will be verified. What are the problems in that records? That's why records means that consist of the information gathering, system design, system analysis, along with the coding part. So the people faces that they will not work with the old system. They are not able to work with the old system. So there are some errors are there. So that can be studied or be reviewed by the system analysis. So that is the record review. So the drawback of using this method is that practically the functioning of the system is generally different from the procedure shown in the record. So the practical application is always different from the theoretical aspects. So when they review the record, they find that they study about the theoretical aspect, but in practical it is different. So that is the main drawback of record review. Then next technique is on-site observation. On-site observation means it is a case of new replacement of old one. It is a case of replacement of new old one, or develop a totally new system without knowledge. So they will go to the site where the system will work, where the system will be installed. So observations allow analysts to gain information they can't obtain by any other fact-finding technique. Means they observe the system day by day, they observe the environment, what it requires, and what will satisfy the or fulfill the goal objective. So the main advantage of this method is analyst personally goes to the site and discovers the functioning of the system. So by this method, the analyst can get the direct knowledge of the activities, operations, processes, and system on site. If there is the old system, it will directly goes there and study about the system by observing the system on the site. That is called on-site observation. So this information is very meaningful as the analyst gets closer to the system. So the main limitation of this method is it is time consuming, because a system analyst will go there, sit there, observe the conditions, observe the problems, observe the processes like this. So it is not a easy task, and it will take more time, or we can say it is time consuming. And the analyst should not take conclusion directly, because he he is not expert in all aspects. So only the analyst cannot take any decision, cannot take any conclusion. He will study the site, he will observe the site and make a report. After that, they will think for they will take provide it to the technicals for development. That is on-site observation. So the system analyst can know about two things. That is what should happen and what actually occurs. That is the standard operating procedures, then controls and checks for accuracy, and properly completed documents, efficient and timely completion of the work. So that is what should happen in the new system, and what actually occurs while observing the system. That is delay in doing work, skipped steps, any steps to be skipped by the employees. So that's why they faces the problems. Then extra components needed, if any extra development need or any component need which fulfill the problems of the which solve the problems of the employees. Then information out in required files or there. Suppose there is a training program in a or user manual. Suppose there is a user manual, and the user manual is not with the in its proper place. So that's why the user faces to work with the system. So that is a problem. So the system analyst can know about two things. That is what should happen. That is the rules, standard operating procedure, control and checks for accuracy. So the procedure should be known by the system analyst, and what he has to what he has to actually occurs means delay in doing work. If there is a delay in doing work, he has to think think about what to be done to speed up the process, or if any process, if any steps are skipped by the employees while doing the work. Clear? Like this. So this is the system analyst can know about two things, that is what should happen and what actually occurs. Then these are the fact finding techniques. So by gather the fact finding techniques are normally used to gather information for analysis. Clear? So these are the tools. Now we will study about the tools used for system development. Means some techniques we have to follow before the development of the system. That is the tool is any device that is used to improve the performance of a task, such as the development of system. That is it may be a graphical tool, it may be a numerical tool, like this. So before going to develop that system, so a tool is used, that is the system development tools. So tool is a device which accomplishes the task, generating the some outputs. So tools for system development, that is analysis tools are there, design tools are there, development tools are there, testing tools are there. So these tools are normally used by the system analyst for the purpose. So tools for documenting procedures and decisions. So documentation is a process to help the users of software and other people to use and interact with the system. So the method available for documenting, analyzing the logic or decision of a process. So these are the tools used for documenting the analysis. Clear? That is decision tree, decision table, and structured English pseudopedia. That is structured English pseudopedia. So these are the different tools used in analysis. So after gathering the information through different fact finding techniques, the next step is for system analysis. So system analysis is nothing but analyzing the data gathered or analyzing the information received in the previous step. Clear? So for analysis, the system analysis used some tools, some techniques, some methods. Clear? So so it is a set of rules. It uses some policies and procedures. For analysis, the system analysis use some policies and procedures. So policy is nothing. It is a set of rules that govern some tasks or functions in the business. So it consists of rules that can often be translated into computer programs. So it also use some procedures, that is it put the policies into action. So the policies are the nothing but the boundaries, and that boundaries are to be taken place in setup in procedures. That is it put the policies into action. The policies are implemented by procedures. So procedures represent executable instructions in a computer program. So that is in the form of software. We can say that is in the form of some software. So what is a decision concept? Decision concept is that is the conditions and decision variables. So good or bad are two specific alternative conditions that can be applied to system development. Whether that that will taken by into account for developing the system or not. It is better for the business or it is not better for the business, like this. So conditions may vary, which is why it is also known as the decision variable. So the conditions are always called the decision variables. Clear? So in documentation, the decision of how to process any procedure, the investigator must identify all the conditions. So that is the decision variables to be taken by the stakeholders or the system analyst, to be taken by the system analyst to while they make a decision. And after taking decision, it will take action. So actions are the alternatives, the steps, activities or procedures that an individual may decide to take when a set of conditions occur or may occur. So if the conditions are fulfilled, they will take action. Suppose for example, when the testing is completed and it is okay in the testing phase, then it is implemented, actually implemented or installed in the organization. So that is the action. Implementation is the action. So what is the relationship between the condition and action? That is, the condition is the possible states of events leads to selection of the alternative steps, activities or procedures that can be taken when specific decision is made. So these are the tools. The first tool is our decision tree. It is nothing but like a tree structure. That is a tree structure where decisions are to be taken, through which the decisions are to be taken. So a decision tree is a diagram that presents conditions and action sequence. So action and condition and action rules are there. So it enables a business to quantify decision making. Here, it enables a business to quantify decision making. That is, it is useful when the outcomes are uncertain. We'll take an example and you will better understand from the example. So it is useful when the outcomes are uncertain. So there is, if the system analysis thinks that the outcomes are uncertain, then it will think for a decision tree. So it places a numerical value, unlikely or potential outcomes. It allows the comparison of different possible decisions to be made. Step 2, construct a decision tree. Identify all conditions, find out values these conditions may take or assume, list all the possible outcomes. See, so I have already told that it is a what? Condition action rule. Dustbin दिया है कि नहीं तो जन दे दो दिए अमन गल दे दी पहले सो okay. So this is a this is the root. In the figure you find this is the root where you find the some conditions are applied and after the condition you find the actions are taken place. Okay. Sorry. Sorry. हाँ okay. Then this are three example. We will take a example. Then we will it will be better understood by you. So in a company, discount policy is based on two different criteria. If payment is made before the 10 days of sales, then discount is given. But if payment is made after 10 days, then no discount is given. So that is a example. So even for payment of made is 10 days, then sales amount is considered. If sales is more than 10,000, then 4% discount is allowed. And if sales is between 5,000 to 10,000, then discount is 3%. And if the sales is below 5,000, then discount is 2%. So this is a problem on which you have to develop a decision tree. That is condition and action and condition rule. So this is the root. So within 10 days and after 10 days. There, after 10, it is full payment, no discount is given. Within 10 days from the sale, there are three conditions are there. Over 10,000, the purchaser will get 4% discount. Yeah. And between 5,000 to 10,000, the purchaser will get 3% discount. And below 5,000, the purchaser will get 2% discount. So this is a decision tree which is helpful while developing, the program, because it provides a logic. To write the course, to write the program, to prepare the program. So that's why we use decision trees. Anybody in doubt about decision tree? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Decision tree बुझी होची?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Then decision tree example we have. In an insurance company, the customers are given priority based on the amount of the business. If the customer is doing business worth more than 1 lakh, he will get priority treatment from company else. Else he will get normal treatment. In a priority treatment, also it is considered based on the payment history of the customers. So that is another decision tree example. If the payment history is good, then he will get highest priority. If the payment history is bad, then the company check the payment history in terms of the last 10 years. If it is good within last 10 years, then he will get high priority, else normal priority. So you have to make a decision tree on that question. Clear? So that is another example where you can prepare a decision tree. You make a route. From that route, you will go to for the payment history. So payment history will be checked, then high priority. If it is, so it is a three-tier decision tree. Then next is our decision table. So decision table is based on logical relationship, just as a truth table. So it provides a logical relationship. So it is a tool that helps to look at the complete combination of conditions. So it is also a condition action rule. So a decision table is a table with various conditions and their corresponding actions. So we can say it is also a condition action table. So decision table just like decision tree is a two-dimensional matrix, it is divided into 4 parts. That is condition stop, condition entry, and action entry. So here you will find 4 parts. In a decision table, it is 4 parts, but in a decision tree, you think it is a two-dimensional because 2D is there. This is a example of decision table. That is condition entry, condition status, then action status. Condition 1, rule 1 if yes, rule 2 yes, rule 3 no, rule 4 no. Then action 1, that is yes, yes, no, no, like this. So this is a action entry and condition entry. That is the it is a decision table. So condition stop shows the various possible conditions, and condition entry is used for specifying which condition is being analyzed. Action stop shows the various actions taken against different conditions. So action entry is used to find out which action is taken corresponding to a particular set of conditions. Steps for building a decision table. Like list out all the conditions and actions. We have already seen that we have to list out all the conditions and actions. Combine conditions which describe the only 2 possibilities of a single condition. In other words, delete conditions which can be derived from the response of other conditions. So make yes or no responses and mark actions to be taken for each rule with X. Where you have to take the action, you have to mark X. Steps for building the decision table. Combine the redundant rules to simplify the table. Check for the completeness. No number of rules, that is 2 raised to power conditions, and there are certain conditions which values and they answer the decision table example. For example, we will take an example, that is a shop owner or shopkeeper allows credit facility to his customers if they satisfy any one of the following conditions. The conditions are like this: holding the present job for more than 3 years, residing in the same place for more than 5 years, and condition 1. Then monthly salary exceeds for rupees 1500 and condition 2. So that is in condition 2, monthly salary exceeds the rupees 1500. In decision, in preparing the decision table, you find list all conditions and actions. Condition involved holding present job more than 3 years. Second condition is monthly salary exceeds 1500. Third condition is resides at same place for more than 5 years. Similarly, action involved are allow credit facility or reject credit. 2 actions are there, that is allow credit facility and reject the credit facility. Decision table. Step 2, prepare yes or no. No rule. Sorry, number of rules are 2 raised to 3. 2 to the power 3, that is 8. Number of rule is 8. 2 to the power 3, that is 8. C. Allowing credit facility. Rule 1, rule 2, rule 3, rule 4, rule 5, rule 6, rule 7, rule 8. Holding present job for more than 3 years. Then rule 1. Condition 1, it fulfills the condition 1. Then rule 1, yes. Rule 2, yes. Rule 3, yes. Rule 4, yes. Then rule 5, rule 6, rule 7, rule 8, no. If monthly salary exceeds rupees 1500, then condition 2. That is, these are the yes. So different rules are to be applied, and the actions are like allow credits, action 1, and reject the credit facility, that is action 2. And allowing credit facility for rule 1, rule 2, rule 3 up to rule 6. A monthly salary exceeds rupees 15. So different action, condition action rules are there. Then we will go for structured English. Clear? We will go for structured English. So this method is used when the decision area is not very complex. So this method uses narrative statements to describe a procedure. That is called our that is called the pseudocode. We can say it is a pseudocode. It is just like a code, but not executable. It is just like a code, but not executable. So structured logic or instructions are organized into nested or group procedures, and it is simple English statements such as addition, modification, multiplication, and so on. So structured English consists of three basic types of statements to describe a process. That is the sequence statements, decision structures, and iteration structures. Means it is a sequence statement is there, then decision, it is single step or action included in a process. It does not depend on the existence of condition, and when encountered, it is always taken. So it is usually describes a process. For example, process to buy book from bookstore. So that is a single sequence of statements are there. In decision structure, it is a way of showing decision analysis. So it describes the actions taken if some condition is true. That is the decision structure. For example, if basic salary is greater than 5,000, then IT means income tax is 10% of basic. If basic salary is less than 5,000, income tax is our 8% of basic. For example, clear? So then iteration structure is, these are those structures which are repeated in routing operations such as do while statement, if else statement, etc. For example, do while still examining more books, read the title of the books, if book found, exit from loop, then end. So that is just like a program, that is written just like a program, and there is a condition do while end, that is the action. Clear? Do while, that is a condition applied, then action is there. Clear? Okay. Then data dictionary. So a data dictionary is a computer file that contains descriptive information about the data items in the files of a business information system. So it is a computer file about the data. Means data about the data. Just like a dictionary, you find the data about the data. If there is a word, then what is the meaning? You find in the general dictionary. But in a data dictionary, you find what type of data it is, whether it is a numeric data, whether it is a character data. So data about the data stored in a data dictionary. So it is nothing but a computer file. So data dictionary is used for documentation and analysis purposes. So it is important in the business because it manages the details, communicate the meanings, document system features, and facilitate for analysis. Yeah, and it also locate errors and emissions if there is within the program. Clear? So this is about the data dictionary. So these are the tools used in what analysis, data analysis. That is the condition action tools. First we have studied or we have discussed, that is the decision tree, decision table, then structured English pseudopedia, then data dictionary. So these are the tools used after in analysis phase, in system analysis phase, after gathering the information. For gathering information, we use some fact-finding techniques, and for analysis purposes, we use some tools for analysis like decision tree, decision table, English pseudopedia, data dictionary, etc., etc. Okay. बुझेला पिलाने? Any doubt? Hello.
Yes, sir. No doubt, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Aji Seti Rao. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
ପିଲାମାନେ ଆଉ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ଅଛି କି ନା ଏଣ୍ଡ କରିଦେବି? ହ୍ୟାଲୋ, ଆଉ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ଅଛି ନା
Sir,
ଏଣ୍ଡ
end
କରିଦେବି?
କରିଦିଅନ୍ତୁ। ନାଇଁ sir, end କରିଦିଅନ୍ତୁ sir.
ଓକେ ଓକେ, ଥ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ୟୁ ଥ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ୟୁ।